Eileen, you and I spoke about sort of the different phases and the different themes. So I wonder if I can ask you what different subject matter is represented on this wall, and why have you chosen this particular piece to sort of emphasize?
This is one of a series of quilts that I've created from my own photos from my travels. This one is called After School in Ururbamba, which is the town at the base of Machu Picchu in Peru. And it includes 3 elements. The background design is based on mosaic tile near where I was staying. The colors came from that. The shapes are based on a view from my hotel room looking down the street and seeing those angles there. You can see the lines coming through. And of course the figure is a little girl that I snuck a picture of on the street. And I love to tell people the story. I snuck this little picture of a schoolgirl in her school uniform sucking on a lollipop. And right after I took it, she just turned and glared at me. She did not appreciate that at all. So I need to continue with my good manners when taking pictures while traveling. So it's meaningful for me because it brings in elements of so many different things that happened on this trip. Not just one photo of the little girl, but the colors and the shapes and the angles and the lines. And it's impacted my photography when I'm traveling, because I have a tendency now, rather than taking a picture of a thing, I'm looking at a shape or an angle or a color, and somebody else might look at my picture and say, what is she even shooting there? But I'm collecting info to incorporate in later quilts.
Are some of those images potentially, those photographs, are those potentially part of a future show when you're thinking about the finished product and this almost like showing your scrapbook or making a statement about process?
That's an interesting question. Of course, you always run the risk that the photo will outstrip the art piece. But that would be an interesting way to look at this quilt to see where it came from.
Well, I find this so haunting, the way the child gets reproduced in almost as if she's fading or something. It's haunting and beautiful all at once. Is there some, what is happening in that moment that caused you to do that?
That's an excellent question, and I'm not sure I have an answer for that. This quilt evolved itself, and the girl alone wasn't enough. And as it progressed, this is what it became.
Yeah, it's really special, and that progression is powerful.
Thank you.
Wonderful.